first, we got to start with mass Jaylen Brown and just how good he's been lately. It's time for Bringing the Heat, brought to you by Eastern Propane and Oil. They're in your neighborhood. Jaylen Brown says he hates the mask, but the numbers don't lie. Since debuting the mask after the All-Star break, he's been a bucket, shooting better than 50% from the floor. So the Forsberg 4 was easy this week. We had to put the spotlight on the masked superhero who has been trying to will the Celtics to victory, even as they hit some bumps in the road. So number one, we're starting with 28.1. That's what Jaylen is averaging for points over this 10-game stretch, and he has been phenomenal. Let's just go through the full numbers. 39.1 minutes per game, 50.2% shooting from the floor, 38.3 beyond the three-point arc, adding 6.7 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.6 steals, which is a nice number, too, because bringing the heat with the defense as well. Some of his best work actually came during that three-game losing streak when the Celtics couldn't stop fumbling away leads, and Jaylen played a billion minutes in that stretch. But he's really trying to carry this team, and I think what's been most impressive about this is the leadership. He understands Jason Tatum is slumping right now, and Jaylen is going out there and doing everything in his power to carry this team. He had a great quote last night about, like, it's easy to be great when everything is going well and everyone is making shots. But who steps up and carries you when that ship is sinking? Well, Jaylen did all those summer workouts, and it feels like he's diving back in the pool and trying to push that boat back to surface. Our second number for today is 13, and that is Jaylen's drives per game since he put on that mask. I was super worried about this. A lot of guys get hit, forget about the face, anywhere on your body, and all of a sudden you get a little bit reluctant to go to the hoop. Jaylen has a broken bone in his face and throws on this mask, and it's just like, it's as if it's protective gear that he feels invincible. His drives are up about 2 per game. Even better, he's shooting 58.8% on 6.8 shots on the drives. Of the 44 high-volume drivers averaging 5+ attempts off drives in this 10-game span, he is 5th in the NBA in field goal percentage. He also ranks in the top 20 among points off drives at 10.1 per game. Aggressive Jaylen is the best Jaylen, and to see him continue to do it despite having to wear that mask, it has been totally impressive. Our third number is 4. Yet again, I probably should have put that fourth, but I never think of these things. And that is Brown's favorite quarter lately, the fourth quarter. Now, we all think of Jaylen as the fuse lighter, the fire starter, the guy who gets this team going. But what's been really impressive in this last few weeks has been he's really taken on the lead in the fourth quarter. 32 points over the last 2 fourth quarters. That's 15 in Minnesota, 17 in Houston. More than that, 8.7 points per game in the fourth quarter since his return. That would rank in the top 3 in the entire NBA if maintained. So we have this notion that, like, Jaylen lights the fuse, gets everything going, Tatum sort of takes the baton and helps get him to the finish line. But it's really been Jaylen these last few weeks who has been trying to carry the team at the finish line. Nearly won them that game in Houston, was huge getting them to the finish line in Minnesota. I would love to see him bottle that up. You can't let Jaylen fade and not have touches in the fourth quarter, and the Celtics have done a good job making sure, especially early in the fourth quarter, that he keeps this thing going. Our final number, 290. That's how many $1 million Jaylen Brown can earn himself if he gets an All-NBA nod in this season. So we know how this works. There's only 15 spots, and you start taking it down to probably 6 guards. It's hard. Start thinking about all the talent across the NBA. It's going to put a squeeze on whether Jaylen can get in there. My big fear as the Celtics started slipping down from the #1 seed and struggling a little bit has been that we're all prisoners of recency and we are like narratives. And so a lot of these guys, even like the Knicks, Jalen Brunson, even you just start thinking like Oklahoma City and SGA in the season he had, it's going to crowd that field. But if Jaylen can get there, the Celtics will be able to offer him a 5-year Supermax deal this offseason. The chance to lock him up early, the chance to have this entire core together deep into the future. It's going to come down to whether Jaylen finishes strong and whether the Celtics finish strong, maybe even make a play for that #1 seed. If that happens, then this could be a big summer for the Celtics and their long-term future.